Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. This is Canvas Expectations for the Apprentice level. And so what we're doing right now is we are signing into the chat box with your school. You can put your grade level or your content. And then also I'd like for you to tell me where you think you are in your understanding of Canvas, from 1 to 10, 10 being an expert and 1 being you're fairly new to it. So go ahead and give yourself a rating. Thank you, Christina. I've also asked you to turn on your cameras and to make sure that your name on your thumbnail is your first and last name. No nicknames, please. And the way you change, hover over your thumbnail and 3 horizontal dots come up so you can click on that and rename it. Make sure everybody has their full name. And so I'm modeling what you would be doing with your students. So you have documentation in the chat box. You can take a snippet of the picture. You can also go to participants. We have 29 so far. And you should be able to take a screenshot of that one too. Whoop, we have one more person. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to present this session primarily for those who are not very familiar with Canvas. And there are some new things that are coming out in Canvas. So we are going to be using or taking a look at the rich content editor. That I believe should already be switched. I believe we're gonna switch it before school starts. So it's gonna look a little bit different, but it does everything the other one did plus more. Okay, so Karina is in the house, very good. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your honest, good. And Tracy, how do you rate yourself from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, and your understanding of Canvas? So we're also rating ourselves. Another thing that I'm currently doing that you're not seeing is that I have a waiting room available. You can have a waiting room for your students. And so it forces you to accept them into the Zoom area. And that's good because sometimes we have Zoom bombers. That might show inappropriate things or say inappropriate things. So as soon as this slows down a little bit, I'll get started. But you should have, again, signed into the chat box with your course, your grade level, your ranking from 1 to 10, 10 being the best in your understanding of Canvas. Your camera should be turned on. You should have your first name and last name in your thumbnail. And in practicing that, that's also what you're going to have your students do, put their first name and last name. There we go. It's a good idea to have your students show up about 10 minutes before class starts, if possible, so that you can get started right away. We are at 44 students and they're still coming in. I don't want to get too far into the presentation if I'm still working on the waiting room. So thank you everyone for your patience. Thank you for being here. How many of y'all have already attended at least 1 or 2 this morning? That's good, very nice. Let's see.
I have a question for you.
Okay, Miss Alma.
Okay, so you mentioned something about taking a screenshot. I can't remember the code. I know you can take a screenshot from the, do y'all know how to do that?
There's a function or a print screen on your top row of your computer, or you could do a snippet. The other thing I think you can do is in the participants, it's supposed to show you who they are. Oh, there it is. So you can, let me see. I'm looking to see. I still have people coming in.
Thank you.
Yes. But there's a list of people. I have a list of everyone that is in my Zoom right now. And so I could just expand that and copy it. If I wanted to, I could copy it. But Zoom, at the very end, you can save the chat box in a download. And that's what I do because sometimes I don't get to all the questions and I go back and review them. You could do it that way, and so it's important for everyone to sign in. So if you haven't already signed in, make sure you signed in. We are recording at this moment. And then I had you do 3 things. Number 1, you signed in with your school, grade level, or content, and to rank yourself from 1 to 10. How do you feel you are in your understanding of Canvas? The second thing I had you do is make sure your camera is turned on so that I can see your faces, and that counts as actively participating. So if your camera is not turned on, I don't know if you're actively participating. And the third thing I had you do was make sure that your name is correct. Your first and last name are visible. And you can do that by hovering over your thumbnail, clicking on the 3 dots, and then it allows you to rename it, and you can put your first and last name. So those are things that you can do with your students also, and or your teachers, so that everyone is on the same page and you can see what's going on. Questions about those 3 things I had you do?
You say a thumbnail. When I explain this to my students, should I say your thumbnail picture? I mean, what lingo do they use?
I think they use thumbnail, but you can say your little picture thumbnail, or you can hover over your face. You can do it as simplistic as that. Hover over your face and the little 3 dots will come up. Anyone have any other suggestions on that one? What do they call it? I'm thinking they call it thumbnails. Okay, and then also we're going to be starting here in just a second. I have 57 people coming in so far. I'm going to treat this as a very beginner course for Canvas. We have some people that are not familiar whatsoever. And so it's just kind of a review for those that have seen it, and just to make sure you know everything. There's some things in here that, because we get busy, we don't always get a chance to explore. So I'm going to kind of take you through some of those things. I think we should slow down. All right, so in the chat box, what were the 3 things I had you do as participants, so that as a teacher, I'm ready to go and I know who's in the room with me? What are the 3 things that you do? Go ahead and put it in the chat box.
What are we putting in the Roxana, what are we putting in the chat box?
Tell me the 3 things I had you do before we got started. I was modeling what you can do with your students. So I see in the chat box you're signing in. I something about the camera. For what purpose?
Here's a chat.
Yeah, turning on the camera to show you're actively participating is what I'm saying. And the last one was to make sure everybody had their first and last name. So Ms. Hodges, if you want to add your first name, or Mr. Hodges.
Put your name and everything.
If you hover over your image, your face, you can change, you'll see the, and you can change your name. So everyone should have a first name and a last name, Jessica. It would help me if your last name is there. Got the idea? Okay.
So I put my name here?
Oh, we still got some more people. All right, it's already going to be 2:10, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like it. Very good. Okay, so here we go. What I'm going to do is share my screen.
Uh-oh. Now what did I do? Oh no, forget it. I'm going to leave it.
On my side, when I see the list of participants, I can also mute everyone. So at this point, I've muted everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. All righty. So you should see on your screen my dashboard. And at this point, if you do not see it, give it a second. You can unmute yourself and then let me know, because I need to wait until make sure everyone can see the dashboard. Okay, it looks good. Let me go up here. See if I can, there's one in the chat box. Okay, very good. All right, so you should be able to see my dashboard. So just going into Canvas, And the easiest way to get to Canvas is your school.ccisd.us, or your school website. There is a button there for Canvas. You click on there, and because you're logged into the computer, the Canvas knows who you are, and so it brings you right here to your dashboard. This is a little bit of a different look. It shows me immediately that I have published courses. There's 19 of them. So if I scroll down to the bottom, then I have unpublished courses. This looks a little bit different this year. So if there was something here that I wanted to publish, I would mainly just click on the publish button, and it would take this course and send it up here to my published courses. So that's something new. Let's look at it one more time. We did not have this last year. We never knew if our courses were published or unpublished. So if you go down to the bottom and you see unpublished courses, then this is, you'll see the ones that are waiting for you to click on publish. You will need to publish them. You don't want to publish your course. We're going to be sending them out again through the district, and you will receive your course tiles with your students already in it. You can work in your course and then publish when you're ready, especially you want to get your syllabus ready to go, publish that, and then we'll talk about other publishings that you'll have to do.
Ms. Guerrero, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm switching from 5th grade to 1st grade, and I noticed that all my 5th grade tiles are still there. Can I get rid of those, or will they just automatically go away?
Oh, that's funny. That's a funny way to ask the question. Every course tile that lands on your dashboard is directly connected to your eSchool Plus. So you will need to get together with your data entry clerk at your school. She needs to remove you from those courses. And then I don't know how long it takes, but it should be pretty quick. And then you should see your 1st grade. So it has to do with the scheduling at the campus level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then some of you I noticed are returning teachers. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that real quick. Over here on the left side is your global navigation. And I'm gonna skip down here since we're talking about courses. If you click on courses, and don't be afraid because I have a lot in mind, you're gonna have some listed. You're gonna have unpublished courses listed. That's new. Right down here at the very bottom, it says all courses. If I click on all courses, then I can go in and favorite the ones that I want to show. So notice that I have white stars and orange stars. The ones that are orange are the ones that I've gone in and just clicked on it and turn on and off. If you have an orange star by a course title, those are the ones that are going to show up on your dashboard. So it would scare you if I start all these and I had like 50 courses in my dashboard. So I don't want to do that. I went through and cleaned it up a little bit. So there's only a few that have stars that are orange. Those are the ones that are showing up on my dashboard. Notice that this here is white, and on the right side it says yes. This is the column that says, is that course published? Notice that when I start getting into this area, I don't know if you can tell, this area is gray, and all of these are no. None of these have been published. That's important because if you have not published your course, your students will not have access to it. Underneath the gray area, you finally get to this part. This is past enrollments. These are things or the courses that you had last year. This is where they're archived, so you have direct access to them. It's a read-only course, so you can get to it, you can look at it, but you won't be able to play with it. It will just have, you'll have access to it. If there's a module or a module item inside the course that you want to reuse this year, because it was really an awesome activity, you can go in there, like say for instance, here's Algebra 1. I can go in here to my modules and say, for instance, here's a major project on vocabulary. The 3 dots over here on the right, if I click on here, I can share it to Commons, put it in Commons just for myself, and then bring it down into the course that I wanted. So for you that are returning, that's how that would look. You would share it to Commons and then bring it down. So I have a lot to say. I'm going to try to remember to stop every once in a while, but if you have questions, feel free to interrupt me. I want to talk a little bit about the global navigation in accounts. This is something you're going to want all of your students to take care of it at the beginning of the year, and then things runs more smoothly. So when I click on account, the very first one is notifications. You're going to want to have them click on notifications. And then, excuse me, you'll see a lot of green boxes in here. At the top, it tells you that if you have a check, that Canvas will notify you right away. So in this particular case, if there is a due date, I can click this one on. Whoops, push the wrong button. Click that one. I just click on the check, and then it will send me the due dates of any assignment that is issued to me. Will come immediately. Second one is the, my internet connection. If I do drop, I will be back as soon as possible, so don't leave. This is the clock is the daily summary of things that are due that came in that day. The calendar is your weekly summary. And then this one is that you are opting to not receive any notifications for your due dates. So all of everything I just went through is right here at the very top. And then you would go through, for your students, you would want to make sure to have them check the due date so that if you put they're going to get it right away. Another one I would do is an announcement. Announcements needs to be checked right away so they can get any announcements you're getting. And then for teachers, not the students, but for teachers, this one here, announcements created by you. If you go ahead and check that one, then anything you send out will come back to you and you will be able to see what it looks like and if it looks the way you want it to look. And you know, I always feel like, okay, good, it's working. Grades is something different. Please know that we are still not connected to Home Access Center or eSchool Plus or Teacher Access Center. So grades, so the Home Access Center is the official grade book for our district. We're not quite there with Canvas. I wish we were, but we're not. If I keep going down here, if you're a teacher that does a lot of discussions, then you can have them check that one, but not necessarily. Also, as you go through this and you don't remember what these are, if you hover directly over the word, it's going to tell you what it is. So this one says new discussion topics in your course. So if you periodically put a discussion topic in and you want them to have access to it, then you would have them check that so it notifies them whenever you do a new topic. If I keep going here, another thing might be maybe calendar. I would have the students check. And then for the teachers, this administrative notification, if you're still a teacher that is getting 100 emails a day from Canvas about somebody who enrolled in Canvas or someone set something up, then right here is where you need to turn it off. So you should have an X on administrators notifications. All of these should be X'd out so that you would stop getting those. Does anyone still have those, getting 100 or 200 emails a day? I'm just curious. It was really bad the first year. I think I got 1,000 in one day. I was like, oh my gosh. So that's where you turn it off. As a teacher, this content link error, that's good to do like maybe weekly or daily. And that just lets you know if you had a link in Canvas not working or something's going wrong, it'll let you know what the errors are. And then the last one is global announcements. And that's one that you're going to want your students to click also. The global announcements come from your principal or from the district. So those are ones that are coming at a higher level. And so you want to make sure your students are getting that and yourself. Okay, so as we go slowly through the notifications, do we have any questions on that?
I have a question.
Yes.
So you're saying that the students go in and do this themselves. For the lower grade levels, is there any way that the teacher can go in and do that for the students? Or is that something the parents would have to do?
The parents can do that, and the parents would do it on their login. Or you could send some information. Like I would maybe take a picture of this. Mine is busy, but yours will probably have one column. Go in and tell the parents which one to click. And you can maybe do that on back to school night, or you can send a little video to them to let them know which ones have to be turned on. I understood that the announcements by default will go to every email from a parent. Every email given to the school that belongs to a parent, when you send it out, it will go to them automatically without any of these turned on. Does that make sense?
And that's true because I get them, my husband gets them and I get them for our high school daughter. Mhm.
Very nice. Okay, good. So that's what we have there. Let's see. I'm going down the global navigation. Dashboard is where you come back to the courses. And so while we're on this one, let me go ahead and show you. This is a new look. Again, this is the published courses. But if you ever notice over here on the right, we have a to-do list. The students will also have a to-do list. We talked about the importance of assignments, quizzes, and even discussions. Anything that you can put a to-do list, a due date will show up in the to-do list. I can't talk anymore. Okay, here's a to-do list, and that comes from the assignment due dates. And then if I go down, the students also will have, these things are coming up that I have to get done. And if I go down further, they might have feedback. So if you've given feedback to the students, all of that shows up right here. Oh, here's recent feedback. So it would be right there. Now they won't have these here. They might have view grades, but then those are just the grades that you have given to them through Canvas.
Does it automatically put it in the calendar, ma'am?
As long as it is a due date, yes, it will put it in the
Okay.
Now, on your dashboard up here, there's 3 dots. The students do this all the time. So when you click on these 3 dots, you can do card view, is what we're viewing now. You can do list view. List view will give you a listing of things that are coming up. Here's July 20th, July 21st. So anything that's coming up that's due, it kind of lists it for me. It's going to be assignments, announcements, or other things. And it looks this way. Sometimes the kids like it like this because they can see what's coming up sooner. And you can look at today. Let's see. I forgot what this was. Oh, that's something else. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. And then if you go back to the 3 dots, you can also do recent activity. And these are announcements, assignments, and discussion. And it kind of groups it for you. And it shows, you can just click here and it will show you a little bit more. So the dashboard does a whole lot more than just shows the card view for your students. Okay. Also in the card view, they're going to have interesting card views with sometimes different coding for the classes. They can go right up here in the 3 dots and they can say, I'm just going to put sandbox, but they can add a little bit more. They can also change the color. So I know that my sandbox is going to be have kind of a blue coloring. The teacher can do this and the student can do this, and they're not aligned. So if you want all of your students to have a red one or a blue one, then you would have to do this, ask the students to do it on their end. Just because you change it on your end, it doesn't change it for them. So this, it kind of helps sometimes on the parent app. No, on the, when the parents are on a device and they log into Canvas, it gives all of the courses at once. It doesn't really separate them by student. So if the student went to the parent and said, oh, these are my mom, they can make the first child blue, the second one red, the next one yellow, whatever it might be. So it's, the color coding helps sometimes. But on the parent Canvas app that they can use on their phone, it does separate it for them by student. Okay, so we talked about courses. Calendar, I just want to let you see the calendar real quick. In the calendar, it is color coded by course. And so when the students go in there, they can, again, so I guess it's running a little slow, they can color code their courses and see the different things on their calendar. Oh, there it goes. And so you'll see the calendar here, and this is the month. So Rock's new sandbox is aqua, like a pretty aqua blue. Well, that's all of this here, okay? If I wanted to see some of the other ones, I could turn on the colors, and you would simply go over here to the right and change a color, maybe make it pink, and then you can apply it, and then it would change it. So I guess these are something else. Okay, so that's how you would do that. And notice that because these have due dates, they automatically show up on the calendar. You can have a week view and you can have an agenda view. So different things going on in there. Most it defaults to monthly. The inbox. The inbox is a way for teachers to communicate to their students and their parents, and it's by course. So they would have to go in and decide on the course and then find the students. They're listed that way. Commons, just clicked on it, oops, will be a place where you can go find CCISD material and other materials that you could download into your sandbox. You always want to download into your sandbox to look at it and see if that's something you're going to want to use. You never download it into a live course because it might take over your course, especially if it's an entire course you're downloading. It will change everything. So you always download it into a sandbox. If you don't have a sandbox on your dashboard that you can play in, go ahead and email me to roxana.guerrero and I will find, I'll get one for you. The global navigation also has the backpack. This is where the students go to Rapid Identity to get their digital resources. Everyone should know about the CCISD curriculum. That one takes you to your IGs. And then the help, if you're new, the help is very important. You can go to the Canvas guides. These are either picture and instructions or videos that you can watch. So if you have spare time and you want to learn something, I would go to the Canvas guides, put a video on, and drink a soda and relax and see what you learn. You can also do the Canvas support hotline, and where you speak to someone 24/7. And the joke is that around Valentine's Day, people that might be missing their significant other or whatever might call just to hear someone speak in a different language with an accent. That's the running joke. And the last one is the chat with Canvas support. This is the one I use all the time. When you go in there, they want you to start the chat and they're gonna ask you like, what's the priority on this one? Is it something you can do right away or like right here? Is it just a casual question? Something's broken, but I can't work around it until I get some help. I can't get things done until I hear back from you, or this is extreme critical emergency. So if you haven't used the chat box, that's a good one to use if you can't get a hold of us or your IT person. Those things are all available for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. Do we have any questions on navigating Canvas from the global navigation and or the different views on the dashboard?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How do we delete our emails from last year? Do we want to delete our emails from last year?
I'm going to write that down because I have some from 3 years ago.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, my inbox is full and I don't know how to delete them other than doing them one at a time. So let me find out if there's a better way to do that. Thank you for asking. In chat box, will you write down for me something that you learned or saw or want to remind your students about for this year? Something you learned or saw that you want to remind your students about in regards to the dashboard?
Roxana?
Yes, sir.
Hi, I got really simple questions. How do you define dashboard? Does that mean home? Is that the home?
Well, when you go to on the global navigation right here, it says dashboard. This is comes up. This, I guess you could say maybe the home. It takes you to where all your courses are at.
Okay.
But
And
you also have, excuse me, you also have home page within the course. So maybe not home. The Canvas dashboard is where you have all your courses available.
Okay, all courses.
Yes.
And the sandbox, why is it called the sandbox?
So just like little children go and play in the sandbox and, you know, practice making building things, the sandbox is something that only you have. You're the only person inside the course, and you can practice building and playing and working in there, which is a safe environment rather than working in a live course where you might mess things up or you might put something in there that necessarily may not go for students.
Oh, okay.
And so if you don't have one on your dashboard right here, going towards the bottom, as a teacher, you should be able to start a new course And so you would put Jason Post and in capital letters Sandbox. And so that would just be a course that you would have to kind of play with and practice using Canvas.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
For those of us who do not have a class, for instance, I do not have students, would I be able to create a class with maybe the teachers so that I can communicate with them?
So are you like a special ed teacher or?
ITA.
Oh, you're an ITA. Yes. So ITAs, what school are you at?
Jones.
Okay. So ITAs and principals, sometimes the principal creates a course for the teachers, and then also the ITA can create one for like professional development or other resources. Sometimes they put them together. You can create the course, and if you remind me in a few minutes when we go into settings, Ms. Tara, I'll show you where you can get the enrollment link. So you can enroll teachers one at a time, or you can send out a URL link that they click on and they self-enroll into your course. Great question. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Now I'm going to go into my sandbox right here, 2021 Rocks Sandbox. My nickname is Rocks. I'm gonna go ahead and just click on that course tile. It's gonna take me inside. I should land on my syllabus page. So blueprint courses are gonna come to your dashboard filled with student information. The curriculum and instructions.
Could you do that one more time?
Yes.
Could you go back and do that one more time? I'm sorry.
So all I did was I picked a course,
Okay.
and the course that I chose was my sandbox.
Okay.
I have 2 sandboxes. Last year's has so much in there, it's hard to navigate. So I made a new one this morning, so it would be very minimal things in there. All I do is I click on it and it opens up.
Okay, thank you.
When it opens up, your curriculum and instruction specialist should have created it so that it lands on your syllabus page. Notice in my course navigation, right here is the syllabus. It should land on here. Board policy says that there's specific things that should be on your syllabus. For instance, your course title, a professional picture, your email, maybe your room number, I put that in there. Your conference period, I would put the school phone number. You're gonna need your biography and then a short description of your course. Now, all of this you will be able to do with your training person on your job-alike day for instructional technology. They're gonna give you time to work on this. You can either work on it on your own or you'll be working on it with the trainer if you're new to Canvas. Okay, but this is what it, yes.
Roxana, I'm sorry. Like we worked on Sandbox today with Melissa's class.
Okay.
Now this is saved onto Sandbox. But how do we embed this over to our other towels? Or, because this is just something to play with, but I mean, we're working with it to make a final product. Do we have to recreate it every time we open up a new blueprint?
No. When you go into your syllabus, you can click on the edit button. And click one time inside this window, and then I'm going to do Control A so it captures all of it, selects all of it. I can do Control C to copy it, and then I go to my new course, open up the syllabus, edit, and I can paste it. It does not always paste formatting, so you might have to recenter things, and it may not paste the pictures, but that you already learned how to do the pictures, so you'll have to add the pictures.
So it was a Control A, Control C, and then the last one you said Control V?
V Victor,
Oh, okay, same, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And for those that are returning, you would go to your course, all courses, go down to your past enrollments, grab last year's, same thing, Control A, Control C, paste it in, Control V, and then you would update your profile to make sure everything is current. Great questions. Again, you'll have time on your instructional technology day to get that done. Now, over here on the left-hand side, district-wide, we will always have home, syllabus, announcements, and modules. And these will all be showing. The announcements may have a little eyeball here with a little line through it if you've not made any announcements. And modules will have a little ball there, eyeball with a line through it if you haven't published. So mine did not publish, so it's showing I don't have anything. The one that's in black is what is showing over here in the center. Everything else, you don't need, the students don't need. You have access to these things. Like I can go to people and see what students are in my course. And so I will see their SSID, their ID number, their login. You'll be able to see those things. Over here, as I get more students in my course, I'll be able to see their last activity, the total minutes in my course, and the row of their students. If you see observers, parents are observers, so you'll be able to see if you've had parents log in with their login and go in and take a look at your course. That is in people. You should not have to add any students because they come in through eSchool Plus. All right, so I'm gonna go to modules. This is called my course navigation. My global navigation is in gray. My course navigation is in white. So I'm gonna click on modules. And then here I have a module. A module is kind of like when you were doing physical packets for your students and they had to come to the school to pick up the packet and it had content, it had information, and maybe it had a quiz. I don't know what it might have in there, but it was a nice little packet. It was a physical packet. Your modules are online packets. So here in this particular module, I did this one this morning with my Ninja group. I have information. I have a little page here. This is a content page. I have two bubbles like quotes. This is my discussion. I have a rocket, which is a quiz. What I don't have showing is an assignment, and that's what we're going to be looking at in just a second. So if you're doing these, when you title them, you can say content and then announcement information or discussion about beginning of school, whatever it might be. So depending on how you title it, it might help your students understand what the page is about. So in order to get into it, you would just click on the link and it will take you to that page. Notice on the right side, there are a whole bunch of circles with lines through them. None of these are published. Notice these two are published here. So one of the misconceptions is that because I have these two published, meaning the students will be able to see them, in this case, they will not, because I have not given permission for the students to even see the module. So I have to click here on this particular bubble. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. And then everything turns green. And if I'm not ready for them to see any of the quizzes or the Google file, then I can just turn those off. So right now they can see information on announcements and uses of discussion. So I'm gonna say that one more time. Unless you have your module published, they will not be able to see inside of it. Questions on publishing with modules?
Roxana,
Yes.
I do have a question where you were talking about people.
Okay.
Is that what we're going to be using as documentation for our remote learning?
Yes, you'll be able to see here, like when was the last time they've been in and how much time. You'll also be able to use quizzes and I think there's a course analytics that will be able to show you where the students are clicking and what they're doing. So yes, it's important that everyone use Canvas as their learning management system because this is what will be able to show your students participating in your course.
Okay, so I was just wondering because I know that during this after spring break, it was chaotic to have to develop your own system to document everything, everybody you talked to, every parent you called, all the conversations. So we're going to still have to do that?
Oh, probably so, but if you do it through the inbox here, you'll have documentation of who you're contacting. You'll have documentation as to who's in your course. You'll have documentation as to who took the quiz and how long they took it and what grades they made on it. And in discussions, you'll have everything that you do in Canvas, it'll keep track for you as in regards to who's doing it and how they're doing.
Okay.
I'm going to put a little note that we probably need to do something with analytics to kind of give everybody a heads up as to.
Yes.
I have a quick question, Roxana.
Okay.
So if on our Canvas course, if we link an activity, so I'm an adaptive ed teacher and we have a program that they have for us. If we put a link for the students, will it track the time that they're in that program? Like it's basically like a hyperlink to another website. Would it track that on the Canvas as well? Minutes or?
It depends on the application. It knows, I don't know if it knows time, but it will grade like Nearpod, will grade Edpuzzle, will grade some of the other ones. But if you're taking them out of Canvas, then probably not. You'll have to go to that app to see how long they were there.
Okay.
That's one of my concerns, Ms. Roxana, is that how are we going to time, pull the grades from STEM Scopes? STEM Scopes, it's its own separate accountability in another program. You know, that's not going to be, I pull the grades from STEM Scopes or from Pearson online for social studies. It's an entirely separate component from Canvas registering it. You know, it's not going to register their work because it's in rapid identity.
There's going to be some things that that work well and some that we're still working on.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
Like Discovery Education works real nice with it, integrates nicely with Canvas. I know that Scopes were having a better connection, but I'm not sure how far it goes. And the other one is, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it's the AR. No, not the AR. There's something.
Mayan?
Say it again.
Mayan.
The Mayan?
Yes. One of those is integrating real nicely. We just figured that out like a month ago, so it's still kind of new. But some of those are working nicely, and I think that the different companies are trying to get on board as much as possible, because if it works nicely in Canvas, then we try to integrate them. Okay.
I'm just thinking about the grades, you know, for grade accountability in STEM Scopes or in Pearson social studies.
Yeah, so it's different on each one, and I'm not very familiar with that. So, okay, so what we're gonna do, we have about 18 minutes to go, and I have lots to show you. I am going to continue teaching as much as possible and showing you different things. And then at right about 3 o'clock or right around there, I'll give you the Google form and the code for you to get credit. And then I will continue teaching for another 15, 20 minutes for those that want to stick around. So let's see how much more we can do. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is we're going to, I'm gonna make this module collapse it so this doesn't take too much room. And I'm gonna show you how to create a module, and we're gonna do a couple of things in there. Again, this is for beginners who have never done this or want a reminder. So there is a blue button up here at the top, it's plus module. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that one. It's gonna give me the opportunity to add the title. And I'm just gonna put, this is for Apprentice. And of course, did it all backwards. I don't like typing with the caps on, so I'm gonna try it again. If I hit enter, I could always go back and fix it later, so that's okay. So I'm gonna add module. I don't have to do anything here. If you are a little bit more advanced, you can add prerequisites to your modules where it requires the students to go linearly through your pages, or it requires them to have a certain grade on a quiz before they move forward. There's lots of things that you can do, but that's another session. All right, so now I'm gonna hit add module. And then this is new here. It's allowing me to drop files that will go in that module. I haven't used that, but what we do wanna do is come across here where it says Summer PD Apprentice. That's the one I just made. And it's not published. There's a little plus sign here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the plus sign. And right here in the pull down screen, I can add whatever I want. So I'm gonna add a page, and this is usually where you put content. So I'm gonna click on page. I have some pages in there that I've been messing with, but I want a new page. So I'm gonna click on new page, and then I give it a title. So I'm just gonna title this, let's see, I'm gonna put getting to know your teacher. So you could maybe do something like that. If you want to indent it, you can. You can also indent it later. So getting to know your teacher, I'm going to add the item, and it shows up right here. And all I did was make a page. We're going to do it again. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go back to my plus sign. And this time, instead of a page, I have other options. One of my options is to do an assignment. So I'm going to click on assignment. And I'm going to say new assignment. And then I'm going to say getting to know me in capital letters. Getting to know me. Okay. And so I could do something like that. So that's an assignment. Notice the difference. The first one is a content page. The second one is a page with a pencil. So now you know that one is for information and the other one is an actual assignment. I haven't done anything. I'm just kind of making an outline of what I want to do. And I'm going to stop there. So now I'm going to go here to my page, getting to know your teacher. In order to put content in there, you would click on the link and it's going to open up. I know I'm on the page because here it is, getting to know your teacher. And there's nothing in there, but if I go over here to the right, I have the edit button, edit pencil. So I'm going to click on that one. And here I am. This is the old rich content editor. I'm going to work on here on this one, and then I'm going to switch it on the next one so you can see the difference. So on this particular one, I have decided that this is where they're going to get to know me as a teacher. And so there's different ways that you can do this. I want to show you how you can add a table and then how you can add pictures. So I'm going to say Ms. Guerrero's, and you can put anything, favorites, and colon. I'm going to hit enter. So one thing you can do, again, is Control A, and if you typed a whole bunch, it would select everything there. It's important that you always do 18 points or higher so that if they're working on their cell phone or a Chromebook, they can see it. You can also change colors here. I'm going to do pretty blue, something like that. I can also bold it. I can italicize it. I can do lots of different things with my rich content editor. All right, so now I think what I want to do, sometimes what I like to do is return a couple of times because sometimes it gets lost and it's hard for you to figure out where you're at. So I'm going to enter a table. So here's a picture of a table. I'm going to click right here and I'm going to go to table and I'm going to do maybe a 2x2. Okay, go ahead and do that there. And now I'm going to put in things that I want my students to know about me. So maybe a hobby, maybe exercise, what I like to do for exercise. And then underneath that, I'm going to do my favorite foods. And then over here, maybe I'll do games. Okay, again, I can select the whole thing, make sure all of it is 18 points. And there it is. And so now what I want to do is add some pictures. So all I did was put my cursor behind the word and hit enter. And I'm going to be consistent so that they all look about the same, just like that. And then in this particular one, for Canvas, it wants you to pull pictures from your computer. So it might be a little bit easier to go in and go to your Google and find some pictures and save them. And then you would pull them in. So I'm going to show you different ways of doing that. I'm going to put my cursor where I want the picture to land. And then I'm going to open up a new tab. And I'm looking for images of calligraphy. Something I enjoy doing. I don't get to do it very often, but I think that's kind of cool. So maybe I want this one here. So I'm just going to click on it. And over here on this side, I'm going to say save image as. So I'm going to save it. I want to put it into my computer. I always put it in pictures, and I do have a folder just for summer PD. And then that one looks, it already tells me my dimensions and everything. I'm just going to hit save. And notice that it's down here at the bottom. I can pull it from there with my new rich content editor, or I can do it another way. Let me get one more picture. Another hobby, or let's see, food. I'm going to say Italian dishes. I'm going to do it one more time. This one looks good. So I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to right click and say save image as. I have it in my summer PD and Italian food. Very good. So there I have it. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my Canvas, and here's where I want to enter it. So in my hobby, if I don't have it in my Canvas, because you can add files to Canvas to pull later, I can go ahead and upload it from my computer. So for my hobby, what did I do? I did food and calligraphy. Okay, so calligraphy. So what I want to do is my cursor is there. I can go ahead and center it. So I want the picture right in the middle. Over here on the right-hand side, it says images. I'm going to click on the image tab, click on upload a new image, and then it's going to give me, do you want to choose a file? I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to go in and find my calligraphy. I'm going to double click, and it's asking for alternative text. This is for those students who might have calligraphy, a reader assistant. Assister, right, where it's going to scan the picture and it will read what I have here. I can say that this is a course image, and then I just upload it. I can double check to make sure my cursor's in the right place, and when I click upload, the picture lands right inside of my table. Okay, and then I'm going to do it one more time. Here's foods. I'm going to go upload new image, choose my image or my file, and I did food. Double click it. I'm gonna go ahead and type in my alternative text. Okay, and I can also say it's a decorative image and I don't have to type anything, but this particular case, I'm just gonna upload, make sure it's there, make sure it's centered, and upload image. Okay, so you can do something like that, and you can keep filling them in and you can move it around. You can also hide the squares if you want to. Shoot me an email if you want to learn a little bit more about that. But underneath here, it says, right here, this little box, add to the students to do. So if you have Google Slides that you want to put in there and you want your students to kind of read through them, there's no assignment. You just want to make sure they go through them. You can click that right there and give it a due date. And so then your students will need to have finished that for it to go away from their to-do box. Okay, so when I'm done, I can save it, and then you can see what I've done so far. So there's my table, there are my pictures. I can make the pictures a little bit smaller. I can add color and things like that. So that's one way that you can add content in your content page. Questions on tables or adding pictures?
So Roxana, if there's all about me file that we already have, can we just import it to that and it be done with it?
Is it a Google file or is it in Canvas?
I think it's probably a Google file.
Okay, so you can upload it with Google. You want me to show you that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still.
Remind me.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna do it right underneath this. Well, let's just do it.
Okay.
We're gonna go to modules. Let me add a page. And I'm gonna go to the Apprentice and make sure I'm in the right module. And it's a page, and it's already filled out information about.
Yeah, it's just like a pre-made form that just has a picture of me and my bio, my favorite things, hobbies, and stuff like that. And
Okay,
of course, I'm a kinder teacher, so I'd like them to have the same thing. So
Yeah,
give me
there
more
you
of an
go.
example of
Okay.
what they're going to be doing in their assignment.
So this is all about me. It's for a teacher. I can indent it if I want it. 2 levels is good. And then I'm going to add the item. So there it is. And really, I want it underneath the other one. So I can move it by using those 8 dots. I can move it. I can even move it to a different module if I want it. All right. So I'm going to click in here. And then, of course, I don't have it, but I'm going to pretend I'm going to put something in there. So I'm going to go to edit. And you always want to put in some instructions like, please enjoy the pictures, I guess, whatever it might be, okay? And so you want the cursor where you want it to land. In the old Rich Content Editor, you have this little blue V. If you hover over it, it says More External Tools. So I'm going to click there. And I'm going to scroll down because I'm looking for my Google Apps, because I'm going to go to my Google Drive to find the file. So I'm going to click there, and then I get a search bar. And because I don't have one of those, I'm just going to look up what I used today, which was the United States United States map. That just happens to be a Google slide, but you could do a Google Doc. You could even do Google Sheets. So let's say this I wanted to share. There's two. Once you click on it and you say, yeah, there's a little check there, that's the one I want. Down at the bottom, you have two options. You can link it or you can embed it. If you link it, well, you're going to want to link it because, let me go ahead and click on link. What will happen is it gives you the link. And then what you can do is, let me see. So if you want to put something like, if you are having difficulties viewing this file, please click here. Okay, so what happens is if the student is logged in, they'll be able to see your Google file, your doc, your slide. But if it's a parent logged in with the parent credentials, then they may not be able to see it. But if they click on there, they'll be able to see it outside of campus. All right, so now I have the cursor where I want my file to land. So I'm gonna go back and do it again. I'm gonna go look for my Google app. And this is just good practice. It takes a little bit of time to get both of them in there, but once you have both of them in there, then it works nicely. So United States map, I click it, I have two options, link it or embed it. This time we're going to embed the entire slide. You would embed your entire flyer or your document that you have. And then there it is. And the only thing I have to do now is save it. I could add it to the student to-do list if I want it. But it would look something like this. You would have instructions. You would have, if you're having difficulties, click here. And then right here is where you would have the Google slide that your students could, inside Canvas, go through and see the different pictures.
So good practice would be to embed it and link it.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you're not able to embed PowerPoint. You would have to convert it to Google.
I would say yes, it might be the easiest, but I think that you can, I haven't played with it. I think there's a way that you can upload a file, maybe give them the link to it. But if you want to embed it, I would put it in Google. Google works real nice with Canvas. And while this one's up, let me go back and see if I can find it real quick. I'm on a different tab. This is where I created this one. And so you have to remember that when you first create it, it's specific only to you. So you have to go here to share. And it's going to say private only to you. And right here is where it would say it. So you would go here. Let me see. It would say restricted, only people added can open with this link. So I would click right here and say, okay, I want either CCISD or anyone with the link. So I would say anyone with the link. Over here, I can say they're either going to view it, comment, or edit. Usually it's just view. And so once you have it like that, anyone with the link can view, then you just copy the link, or you could just leave it alone because you already have the link in there and just say done. So now when I go into my Canvas, this is visible to anyone who has that link because I made sure my sharing rights were open to everyone. That's high level for my beginners. So take a deep breath if it's a lot. Okay, so before I move on, in the chat box, I want you to tell me things that you're thinking in your brain that you can put in a content page. What types of content things can you put in there? What can you put in there for content? And then I'm going to show you, oh, we're right at 3 o'clock. Man, if you can stay for about 10, 15 more minutes, it'll be worth your while. Go ahead and quickly put something in there, and then I'm going to give you, while you're doing that, I'm going to go find the code. Okay, video links, anchor charts, very good. I'm going to show you 2 more things I think you'll like.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Are we able to take something from Commons? Because I know a lot of the departments are putting things directly into Commons. Is there a way, an easy way to have it go from Commons into the courses?
Yes, you can. So your instructional curriculum and instruction specialists, they're going to be putting some things in Commons. There might be some things there already. And so those who want to go look for it, and sometimes they'll let you know it's there, you can go, find it and put it into your course. That's not a problem at all. Especially if your teachers are sharing. What we do want is that there is a special naming convention starting with CCIC, maybe the grade level, the course, the topic, and then what it is. Is it a module? Is it a module item? Is it a quiz, a discussion, things like that? Yes. So what I'm going to do, I just gave you the link. It got lost. Let me see if I can put it in one more time. The code, oh, there's the Google form. Okay, so the Google form, you'll click on that one. There's the Google form, and the code, because you've been wonderful, is very simple, is all capitals WOW. So this is how you will get credit for being with me today. I'm hoping that of the things that we covered and went over, that you can implement some of it and have a better understanding of the work that you could do in Canvas. I'm going to stay on for another 10-15 minutes and talk about assignments and media tools. And if we have time, maybe YouTube. And then I will be open for discussion. So if you want to rush to another session at 3 o'clock, you can do that, or you can stick around for about 10-15 more minutes. We're gonna cover a couple more things.
Roxana, what's this title?
This one is Canvas Expectations for Apprentice. Canvas Expectations.
Ms. Roxanne, since you're recording it, will we get a like a link to the recording or no?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the on the choice board. I can put the link there. I did record it. I just haven't been able to figure out. Let's see. I'm going to put it right in here somewhere. I'll probably right under here. I'll put the link to the recording. As soon as I can figure out how to make it play without it being, there was issues with it. So I'll do that for you.
What is our session code?
WOW, W-O-W.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Everyone else, thank you for being here. If you have to go, that's okay. And there will be a recording that we're still using. So let me go back to my course. And we just entered that one. So I'm gonna go back to modules. And we had entered an assignment here, getting to know me. So I'm gonna go ahead and click in there. And we're gonna talk a little bit about how they can give you back information. So in order to put anything in here, notice it's no due date, it's for everyone, but there's nothing in there. So I'm gonna go to edit. And it's gonna open up, here's my rich content editor again. So points, here's where you have 100 points. Assignment group has more to do with minor and major grades that are weighted, but we're not doing that right now. You can display the points as percentages, actual points, letter grades, or you can just simply do complete or incomplete for like your little ones. I'm gonna do points. It says do not count the assignment towards the final grade. So that is an option. You can click that there if you want. Here's where it's important. This is submission type. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on this little down arrow, and you can do no submission, online, on paper, or external tool. The first year we used Canvas, we used it as a communication piece, and you could say that the kids were turning things in on paper. In this particular case, we're going to want to say online because the first month of school is going to be online. So I'm going to click online. When you do online, you get different options. So they can turn something in with a text entry. I would do a media recording, and I would even do a file upload. There's very different things, very little things that I would do a website URL, but I would mainly do those 3. If you wanted a specific type of a file, like a Google Doc instead of a PowerPoint, then you would have to put that here. I don't usually mess with that because I'll take whatever the kids can give me. And the submission attempts.
Hold on, Roxana, where are you at right now? You're in courses?
I went to my
Assignments.
in my assignments, and then I'm in the edit mode.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, and so above, here's where you would put all the instructions, but I'm kind of telling you about the options. And so this is new. It says allowed attempts, so unlimited attempts or limited. Maybe I'm going to give you 2 attempts. Sometimes students submit and submit and submit, and they can submit as often as they want, unless you limit it. So that's new this year. I hadn't seen that. Groups has to do with if, and we'll probably do a session on that too. Groups have to do with students that are grouped together within the class to work on a project, but a month or 2 later, they're in a different group. That's different from sections. Sections might be students who need extra time on assignments. That's year-long. Groups is by projects. So I'm not going to mess with any of these. I could require a peer review if I want it. But right here is where you assign. I would want to make sure I have a due date. So maybe I want this due by the 24th, and it defaults to 11:59 or midnight. Or I could say, you know what, I want this done by 5:00 p.m. And I would say done right here. So then it says 5 o'clock. So unless you change the time, it defaults to midnight. And right here, if I started typing, maybe there was 2 or 3 students I needed this from, I could type their names there and I could do just specific students. I don't have anyone in this course, so I can't show you that. But it'll say the 2 or 3 students. I could do it here, sorry. So here's everyone, and if I start typing a section here, I don't know if it's gonna let me, then it changes up here to everyone else. So these people have it due maybe on a Wednesday. These people that need a little bit more time might be on a Thursday, Friday. So it's the same assignment, differentiating different due dates for different students. You would just push that add button and change that due date for those students. Okay, so make sure you have a due date, and then we're gonna hit save, but we didn't put anything in there. So what I wanna show you is, so we were gonna put instructions here, getting to know you. And you can say, please share. And you can do as much as you want, 5 favorites. You can have questions that they answer. You can have topics, things like that. But what I wanted to show you is right here, there's a little record and upload media tool. So if you click that, let me turn off my camera here. Okay, let's see. Stop video. Okay. So if I click this button here and notice where I have my cursor, I'm going to go ahead and click on here. It's going to allow me to do a recording. So right here, as soon as I push this button, I'm going to count to 3. It's going to do countdown backwards. When it gets to 1, I have to be smiling pretty, or it's going to catch going, you know, something kind of crazy. So here's my recording, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to smile. Hello, boys and girls. I would like to get to know you a little bit more. If you would choose 5 of the topics listed there, and then go ahead and do a media recording back for me so I can get to know who you are and what are some of your favorite things. All righty, good luck. Something very short. Right here it tells me I only took 17 seconds. You want to keep your media recordings between 3 minutes and 5 minutes. And if you didn't like that, you can start over and just redo it. Or if you like this, yeah, I have a pretty smile. That looks pretty good. I can just hit save, and it's going to land right where I had the cursor. So here's where it's going to land. So you can, if you have a lot of things to say, you can do a lot of 2 or 3 minute chunks, and then they can watch one at a time.
Where was the link button, ma'am? I'm sorry. Where was the button for that?
It's
okay.
Right here. It's a rectangle with a triangle inside of it, and it's record and upload media.
Thank you.
Okay. And so make sure that this is 18 font, and I could change the color so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe that color. maybe I want to bold it. I like bolding things. Okay. And then I did my points. I did online right here, that media recording. That's going to allow me to see my students on a recording. So I hit save. And so when it comes back to me, there's my instructions, and you can do as many instructions. Here's my little thumbnail. And the students will then just click on that and they'll be able to see you. Hello, boys and girls. I would like to get to do a little bit more. Could y'all hear that?
Yes.
Oh, you could? Oh, exciting. You usually can't, but I think we've purchased licenses for Zoom, so it's letting us do more. So there it would be. The other way you could see what students are doing, and let me show you that. Because here is just my publish button, my edit button. I'm gonna go ahead and publish it. My edit button. Let me show you this. So if I go back to my module, I have to make sure that my module is published. And then what I can do is when I go home, on my home screen of my course, over on the right-hand side, there is a student view. So if I click on my student view, and I get this kind of fuchsia pink perimeter border all the way around. Notice that all of my course navigation has disappeared except for the 4 that I have available for my students. So this is what they will be able to see. And they'll be able to see the get to know me and the calendar and some other things. So when they go to modules, then the modules that I have published are the ones that they'll be able to see. Remember, this one had about 6 different items. I only published 2, so those are the only 2 they can see. And then down here, let me go ahead and show you. I'm just going to go through these 3.
And I have a quick question.
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt.
You're okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, my internet is going to be unstable here. Go ahead and ask me. I think I can keep going.
I always think of, you know, our kinder and first grade. On the modules, you know, everything is in print, and I could see where parents would be able, which of course they'll probably be sitting with them, but it would be nice to be able to add some type of visual. Is that even possible?
Yes.
You know, I see you can add a visual here, but I'm saying at the very beginning, whenever they're looking at the courses or the pages or that area.
Yes, like in this area here, the most you can do is add like a little icon. So I can't do it in the student view, but on the teacher view, when I go in and edit it, I can add an icon right here. So you could have like a book for something they have to read, maybe a pencil for something they have to do, things like that. So if you shoot me an email, I'll try to find some icon instructions. And I'm Roxana.Guerrero. Okay, so let me go ahead and click on there. I'm just going to show you the work we've done. This is how far we got. So you can see the color. It adds, it's nice. It adds here, and I have some pictures. They will have a next button where they click next. And then this is all about me. This is where we added our Google slide. They might have something here that says authorize. It's not going to let me see it because I'm incognito, and it wants to know who the student is. And it's like a test student, so it won't let me do it. So I'm gonna go to the next one, but they'll be able to see the Google slide. And I'm gonna go next. And so this is what it looks like for the students on the student side for the assignment. They will have a submit assignment. And here it says, getting to know you, please share 5 favorites, and they'll be able to watch my little video. So in order for them to turn it in or get started on it, they will simply click on submit assignment to get into it. And then they're gonna have this. So they'll be able to do a text entry. Here's where they can actually type all the different things they want. Here is the media tool where they will click on record, and they themselves, as long as they have a camera, will be able to record their response. So this is good for the little ones. And the other one is a Google Drive. If they maybe typed it on a Google document, they can go here and find the Google file that they worked in. They could do it that way too. Or they could just do it right there in the text entry. And below all of this, there's a place where they can add a comment for the teacher. So if they say, I hope you enjoy it, or I've had trouble getting it in there, or this is great. Can I do a second video, whatever it might be. And then when they're done, they just go ahead and submit. So I'm just gonna put some gibberish, and I'm gonna put a little note to the teacher. Thank you for this assignment.
I have a quick question. For the upper grade levels, is there going to be enough space so that maybe if teachers want to use this to do fluency, you know, they have fluency tests, would they be able to have the students, would there be enough space for the students to record that?
Yes, again, you don't want them recording more than 3 to 5 minutes. One teacher recorded 8 minutes and it didn't stick, it wouldn't take it. So it's little short pieces, but if you type out a paragraph and then you have them read it through it, you could do that. That would work. I don't know if you noticed that when I submitted, I had confetti come down. That's because I turned it in on time. Over here on the right, it shows me that what time I turned it in. And then if I click here, I can see the details. This again is the student side. But let's say I forgot to do part 2 or part 3. What I would do is I would resubmit, and it will allow me to turn something else in. I'm gonna go back to text entry, and I'm gonna say second submission, and then I'm just gonna resubmit it, and said on the student side, it's gonna show there's my confetti, woo! Here's my submission details, and it shows that then I turned something in at 3:16. On the teacher side, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the student view. On the teacher side, you'll be able to see in the speed grader right here, you go to speed grader and you'll be able to see, I don't know if it'll have a test student. Yes. Here's my test student that they turned 2 things in, one at 3:15 and one at 3:16. I can put a grade here. Here's that little note from the student. Thank you for this activity. And I can respond to them. I can give an attachment. I could do a recording so they can see my voice when I'm giving back feedback, or I could do audio. And just give a quick audio recording.
Where did we view their assignment? Where did we view?
Well, it would be right here, but I didn't turn it in.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's
but where do you go? What button do you first press to see the assignment that they turned in?
On the teacher side, you go, like, let me go all the way to modules. On the teacher side, this little button here is the assignment, and then look, it says July 24th, 100 points. I can click right there. On the teacher side, on the right panel, it will say speed grader.
Speed grader.
Speed grader. You click on speed grader, and that will show up once the students start turning things in. Right here where it says test student, I can do a pull down menu. I will have a list of all my students, and notice that this one has an orange dot. That means that there's work there that I need to grade. It might have a check, meaning I've already graded it, or if it doesn't have anything, that means they haven't turned something in. So this one is my test student. I see that there's 2 submissions. This is the first submission, what I just did, silly writing. And it says here, this is not the most recent. If I go to the most recent, then I just put second submission. And it would be whatever they turned in. It could be text, it could be a video, or it could be a Google Doc or Google slide presentation that they turned in. Everything will live there.
Well, where do we put the grade? Where do we put the?
Right here.
It's on there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so great question. Put 100 and you can comment here. Thank you. Okay, and so that will go back to the student immediately, and I can record it. If you have a lot of text coming back and forth about why the student didn't get it in and you wanted to save it, right here, download submission comments, you could gather them all on one page.
Okay, so we assign the grade, maybe a little comment, and where do we save that grade? Submit?
You submit, and then right here, if you want to see all the grades for all your students, over here on the left-hand side, we're almost done, sir. Jason, you're looking a little tired. Right here. This is your,
okay.
I can see it. This is the grade book inside Canvas. So I'm going to click right, and it's going to show you the grades. It'll be a spreadsheet. So I don't know how many students, but it'll see, like, I used as a discussion, I'm grading that one. Here's the 100, and here's some things that I didn't have published. As you go further down, you'll be able to see the total and total for assignments is 100, and the total, like, it might average it for you. I don't use that, and I just make sure I take care and look at what's there.
Then we have to take that and put in our regular grade book, right?
As of today, yes. One day it will all mesh together, and whatever you have in Canvas will talk to Teacher Access Center, but we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
So you submit the grade, okay, that on the bottom you submit, not save, but submit.
Submit, yeah. And then you'll see all your students listed, and you'll see all of their grades. And then what's cool is if you hover right here, like, see, there's no dots there, but I hover over and I see these little dots. If I click on the dots, I can do message students who. If I click there, I can say who haven't submitted yet. Maybe there's some that haven't been graded and behind, or maybe that they scored less than a 70, or maybe scored more than a 90 and you want to congratulate them. So it would list the students here that it's going to. It would say, and you would put in a little message, and you could send it out and say, hey, you guys haven't turned in your assignment. And it's due tomorrow, last chance. So you could do that. There's other little things.
Where was that icon, or where was that getting to?
So
where was that at? Oh, under the assignment.
Yeah,
Under the assignment.
in the assignment, when you over the title, the 3 vertical dots come up. If you click there, one of the ones you want to do is message students who.
Okay.
And when you click on it, a little window pops up and you can choose. So message students who haven't submitted yet, and it will list 5 or 8 students who haven't done the work. And you can put a little message here, last chance, last call for tomorrow.
Right.
And then you would send the message just to those students.
Do the parents get these messages also, or just the students?
Yes, no, the parents and the students get the message.
Okay.
Anything you send out to the student will automatically go to the parent.
Okay, thank you.
What if there's a due date and it's passed and you want to resend that same assignment because they were behind? Do I have to go back to assignment and change the due date?
If you, no, I don't know if it'll let you change the due date. It's going to accept it.
Okay.
Let me show you real quick. So
you know what I mean?
It's gonna let you know it was late. It'll accept. Okay, see right here where it says it's
there was an option.
It's due on the 24th for everyone, and then right here there's no dates. So you can say that this assignment is only available during a certain amount of time.
Right.
It would be right here, available from today to Tuesday or Tuesday of next week, and that's it. I don't recommend using this because if you put a date there, then the students have no access to it and they won't even be able to turn it in late. You can leave it like that, and Canvas will keep track as to their submission date and time, and it'll let you know if it's late or not.
Oh, so they'll have access to it. If we leave that blank, they will have access to it even if they're late?
Yes, yes. Sometimes teachers use available from because they have it ready early, but they don't want to have to go in and publish it. They'll say, yeah, let this show up Monday at 8 o'clock, and they'll have it ready. You can do it there. But this is where you would do it. I would stay away from the until, because if you put it there, it locks the student out of the assignment.
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so everybody take a deep breath. Oh my gosh, great job. We went through a lot. This is only the beginning. If you want more sessions like this where we take it slow and you want something in particular, you can just let us know. I think that's maybe one of the questions on the Google form. So I think we've gone above and beyond. It's going to be 3:30. I don't know if there's any sessions after 3:30. I know there's some going on right now.
No, I don't think.
We have any other questions?
You were wonderful, Miss Roxana. Thank you.
Can I show y'all one more thing? There's always one more
Yes,
thing.
please.
Show you this
Yes.
real quick. So
Yes.
in your course navigation, when you go down to settings, so I'm going to click on settings. We always are working with course, two things, course detail. Let me click on that one. This is where you can change the image of your course tile. But way down here, somebody asked me about being able to have students enroll in a course. What is it? Manually created course. You would go here to more options, and you could click on this first button that says let students self-enroll. You click there, and then add the join course, and then I go to update course details. And when it updates, if you go straight down to the bottom, there is the course invitation. So that would be if you had a club, or if you were a counselor or a librarian or IT chair and you wanted them to join your course, there it is. Regular teachers do not do this because students come in on the course when you get your course. The second thing I want to show you is if you go across to...
What's the blueprint course thing right there?
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
So the blueprint course is what you're going to get on your dashboard that comes from the district that will have some lessons already in it, ready to go for your online learning, hopefully, depending on your content and grade level. And the specialists click that button. You probably won't have that on yours, but they click that button so that we can use it to send it out. That's on the district side. So no worries about that. The fifth tab says feature options. When I click on feature options, there's some things that you can turn on. This one right here, rich content editor, the RCE enhancements. When I turn this on, and you can play with any of these that are available to you, but that is the rich content editor. This is the new look. I was gonna show y'all that. So when I go back to modules, and I've turned on a new one, and I go to getting to know me, remember when I went to edit, I had 2 rows of the rich content editor information. Here is the 1 row. And so there's a lot of pull down menus. There's more beautiful colors, more on highlighting. There's, looks like you can do subscript. Again, you can do the alignment. There's more options on your bullets. Here's where you could do a paragraph. And this might be an indentation, I'm not sure. And then the 3 dots, here's where you have ways that you can link, external links and course links. When you have this one and you wanna upload a picture, you could just say upload image. I'm gonna do that one for you. It gives you this. If you have it down here at the bottom, I've been researching, so if I wanted to add a picture, let's say the sparkle dice, I can just bring it from the bottom of the page, put it here, and it's already there. When I submit it, it shows up there. So it's an easier way to add pictures. Oh, it doesn't like it. I'll make it smaller. I don't know why it didn't work, but it should work. Maybe it's because I've had it open for a little while. And then you go back over here, you have, here's that recording, upload and record media. Here's more on documents and how you can upload them. Here's clear formatting. Here's more information on the tables. It looks like there's some math things here. Whoops, whoops. So it looks like you can enter math equations. That's the first time I've ever done that. It kind of scared me. And then this one here, I thought that was a D with the 2 sideways, but this is your apps. And if you click on that one, for you that have done Google Apps, when we were adding the Google file, here's where you would go to do your, to add your Google file, Google Slides and things like that. And so once you click on that, it's gonna look the same as before. But that was one that I had a little trouble finding. So it looks like a, it's not a D with the 2, it's a plug. Let me click that so you can see it one more time. So right here, it's a little outlet, a little plug, and that's where you go find the external tools. Okay, you owe me 2 things that you're gonna try from the information that we've learned today. If you'll type it in your chat box, that is your ticket out the door. And did anybody still need me to do the Google form and the code? Y'all need me to do that again for you?
Roxana.
Yes.
I just wanted to see if, because I think I missed that part. How did you change from teacher view to student view?
Okay, I can show that real quick. Let me save this.
That pink thing.
Yeah, so everything that you do, you're automatically in teacher mode, but if you go to the home button and you go over to student view in the right panel, it looks like there's little glasses there. When you click on that one, it automatically puts you in a student view. And this is a good way to see what you have published and not published, because once I get modules, you'll be able to kind of see quickly what they're going to see on their side. So you can have one module published or 2 modules published, but if you have too many, then it gets a little bit busy for them.
Great. So to reiterate, go home and then student view.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Roxana, I have a question.
I'm almost done.
I know last year you all sent out a form for when we have multiple courses, like I teach multiple grade levels, and so about combining the courses. If we do that, then all the students in each grade level will be able to see it, correct?
For like the counselor's corner?
No, like I'm AE 3rd through 5th. So like my 3rd graders are enrolled in their 3rd grade course for English, math, science, and then 4th graders, same thing, and 5th graders. But you had us combine, or you,
Yes.
Yes.
It's
So
called cross-listing.
Mhm.
And you can do that with your AE courses. If you shoot me an email, I'll send you some information on cross-listing. Probably you want to have it done within the first 2 weeks of school.
Yes, and when we cross list, it would show in all of them, correct? Like every kid would have it because it combines the courses.
When you combine course A with course B, you can put B inside of A, so all the students are in course A, and only the students and the student information transfer, none of their work transfers. So you want to do it before they start submitting work.
Okay, I'll send you an email. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And does anybody need the Google form or the code? Everything okay? Are we good with that? So you could get credit? Okay, and then any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. How do you keep track of the documents, the comments that you send to students? For example, if they have a missing assignment, is there a log where that's accessible?
So when you go to the grade book that I was showing you, it shows you who has it missing and who doesn't. Is that what you mean?
Yes, but when you send that message, is there a log of those messages?
I believe it goes, in the speed grader where I had that comment, I think that's going to show up there.
Okay, thank you.
On the right-hand side, yes. Sorry, I'm moving my hands and you're not watching me. Yes, so anything that's sent to the student, it'll either be in the inbox. I think it'll be sent, it'll show up in the thread on the right side of the, where the actual assignment is at for the student. Okay, anything else? Last call. Well, y'all were awesome. So if y'all need more help, remember that you have an IT specialist that works with your school. I have Atkins, Brown, Carroll, Driscoll, Fannin, Gavon, Haas, Hamlin, Cappy, and Oak Park. And you, my other coworkers have other ones, other schools. So if I didn't call your school out, then you have another person to help you. If you have questions or if you need a little bit more of something else, just let us know. And I thank everyone for being here. Make sure you give me my exit ticket, something that, that you're gonna try or you learned. And the rich content editor should be changing soon. So feel free to go in there and play with it in your sandbox so you get used to it before it happens. All right, everyone, give yourself a hand. Y'all did a really good job. Very nice. And then I will wait for the conversion of the video and put it on the choice board for you guys. Okay?
Roxanne?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. That's why I waited. It's just a yes or no question. Do you have already prepared a step-by-step for the designing and engaging virtual environment that kind of gives you step-by-step on how to go through that process? I went to the other training, but I just don't have that step-by-step guide. You know what I mean?
Like how to make a module better?
No, it was when you were designing it, how to go to that link and then you have to copy and then you go somewhere else to put it on the top of for designing your Canvas page, the syllabus?
Oh, yes, 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 like the banners and the pictures.
Yes, it was so confusing, and I tried it on my own, and it's just, it was, I don't
Okay.
know.
She is supposed to put a recording on there, so if you want to watch that again, you can.
Okay.
You want, excuse me, specific things, you can email me, and I can either respond or send it to your IT specialist so they can help on a one-on-one basis if you like.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I appreciate it. Y'all did a really good job.
Okay, I was going to mention that Facebook has some or like groups. They have lots of great ideas.
Yeah, I'm part of the Canvas for Elementary.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's good. Very nice. Very good. And I do have a page already set up with all the color banners, different color banners that you can find in Commons already if you want to go look for it, if you want more colors. All right, well, I'm going to have to go. Thank you, everyone. Got to figure out how to turn this off. Sit down, baby.